It's getting there. Hang on.
Meeting is now streaming live on Facebook.
Is it there?
Yeah, it says streaming live on Facebook. Well, hello everyone. Welcome to the Camberley Community Podcast Group live stream. We are streaming live for the first time this week. We did one last week and it worked really well. So we're going to try it on this site to see how well it works on this one. See if anyone's actually listening.
Indeed. And we were, just before we came on air, we were having the comparison of the microphones. So Neil's got his really posh one there, and I've got one that I got for a few less pennies off Amazon, and it seems to do the job as well. So it's good. The main thing is people can hear us.
It is, and hear us clearly as well, I hope. I've got my headphones on, so I'm sounding good. I don't know how you sound without headphones on.
I sound very good, but I was told, was it by you, that if I use a diffuser, it's better if you're singing. So,
yes.
So I tried using the diffuser, and I can promise you, it didn't improve my singing. So
really,
you lied.
You know, you're gonna have to do. Go on. Do the thing about what you say about when you're in church and you're singing hymns. What do you do?
Oh, I mouth them.
You mouth them, yes.
Because the microphone goes off. And the trick, when I was in the army, the trick with the national anthem is, if you couldn't remember the second verse, sing the first verse, because the mouth movements are the same. Just don't project it. And it's safe that way. Tricks of the trade. So, but what have you been up to this last week then, Neil?
This week, we have been in preparations for Christmas, trying to work out what we're doing. Starting, I'd like to say buying presents. Buying presents at the moment is going onto the computer, clicking, I'll have that, and it arrives like 2 days later. It sort of loses a bit of its enthusiasm.
But you need to break that, don't you? Now the shops are reopening, you can buy them locally again, which is great news. You know, support
December the 3rd, I will be there.
The only thing that it's great that the shops are reopening and things, and cafes and restaurants thing, but it just worries me what the consequences of that are going to be. And did you hear the Christmas plans?
Not well. The groups of three, families of three, was it?
Do you know what? I've read it 3 times.
Yeah.
And I have no idea. I think the reality of it is it seems to cover all bases, and people are just going to do what they're going to do. You know, the main thing that we've got to remember is hands, face and space, and just be really sensible. But what worries me is what will happen in January, February time. But it's they're very confusing.
It is. They've got the 5 days. Basically they're relaxing the rules for 5 days, so they don't have a mass exodus of people just doing what they want. They'd rather they did it. They'd rather they didn't break the law, so they altered it slightly. So no longer is it just on your own. You can obviously, there's three different families. Is it 3 different family groups?
I think you can get together with 3 different bubbles, but I have to confess the details were quite confusing. Yeah, the reality is people are going to do it anyway, but I guess it means that you can, you know, if you've got a sibling, brothers, sisters, you know, family and parents can get together. But for me, it's not going to change anything, because my in-laws are in Northern Ireland, my parents are in Manchester, and having been a military family, we're that used to having Christmas just on our own anyway, and we just get on with it. It won't change anything.
But what it does mean is people who are on their own, they can actually get together with somebody else. And that's the important thing. That's what we need to remember here.
Indeed. And that's just reminded me of something we're doing with Rotary, actually, which is on Christmas Day between 11 and 1. If you are on your own, look out for the posts that are going to come out on social media about zooming in just for a chat between an 11 and 1 on Christmas Day.
If we were really, really techie at this point, we would literally flash up the post.
If you keep talking, I will find it.
Can you find it? And then basically the post is absolutely fantastic. It's a word play on Mud's. You'll be lonely this Christmas, and it's really, really good. So what we're doing is we've got a Zoom. It's not a Zoom meeting. It's a Zoom chat. You just bring your own mince pies, bring your own drink, and you sit there and you just talk to people. It's not a crisis line or anything like that. It's just a casual get together of people who want to talk, perhaps on their own over Christmas for whatever reason. Oh, hang on.
There we go. People can see that.
Look at that. Yes. There you go.
Don't be lonely this Christmas.
Feel lonely
This
Christmas.
Christmas.
Okay, so
I've got 2 pages. That's why it's gone wrong. But that's the details. Email surreyheathrotary@gmail.com and we'll send you the details.
You've
But
done it again
on all the social media because that's going to get pushed out very soon.
Mike. You've done it again. You've done it again. They have to get a pen first. Get a pen and a paper. Yeah. Okay. Right. Have you got that? Okay. It's Surrey Heath Rotary, which is all one word, lowercase, at gmail.com. Okay, that's Surrey Heath Rotary at gmail.com. And we are open 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. of 1 p.m. Sorry, that would have been a long session, wouldn't it?
And you don't have to come for the whole period. You can come just for 10 minutes, 20 minutes. You could come for the whole 2 hours, but it's just people to chat to. No age limit. You can be from the age that can just about turn the computer on, but up to the age that's older than I care to imagine.
Then, is it?
Sorry?
Just about turn the computer on, that's about 60 then. So, but it's finished at 1 because obviously people have lunches and things like that. That's why.
And then we've got to go and watch, Her Majesty do the speech at 3. I wonder what she's going to say this year.
It's written for her, isn't it? Is it written for her? Speech?
How dare you? Of course it is.
It's written for her by the Prime Minister.
No, it's not written by the Prime Minister.
You sure?
Yeah, because if it was Boris Johnson that wrote it, it'd be
yes, we'd like to Christmas, not Christmas.
It's Christmas.
Yes.
It's not Christmas this year.
It's not Christmas. Yes.
But it's going to be interesting to see what Christmas looks like for us as a church, though. I've put an in now. That's because I was doing a Boris. For us as a church, if we're in tier 1 and 2, we're going to, whatever happens, we're going to carry on streaming services online on Facebook and on our new YouTube channel, which is
YouTube. Yes, Highcross has a YouTube channel. For those of you out there who aren't aware of what YouTube is, basically it's a streaming service where videos can go up. So what is happening is all the videos that Highcross do are being put on the Highcross YouTube channel, so you can watch them back at your own convenience.
And I'm just going to try and find the channel.
You're trying to do that. You're trying to find that. Oh, here we go again.
There we go. So there's the YouTube channel, and all the videos are on there from the services we've done. And unfortunately for you, if you really like mine and Neil's voices, our chats are on there as well, which is wonderful.
Yes. Yeah. And the idea is we're going to keep adding and adding and adding to it. It's going to be a very big channel. There's going to be a lot of content on there. So you can just go through and say, for instance, Mike can't make a Sunday or whatever, you can, and you miss him that week, you can just go on and click a service that Mike has done in the past.
I'm sure there's nobody that sad out there, to be honest.
Oh, you'd be surprised.
If I miss a Sunday, people will be partying. Yay, we got rid of him. But the YouTube channel's not going to be live. It'll be posted on there a couple of hours after the service, and the live stream will remain on Facebook. But it's just for those that can't access Facebook, and it will make a big difference. So it's quite good. But so at Christmas, the services will be on Facebook and YouTube. But if we're in tier 1 and 2, because we don't know what tier we're going to be in yet, we'll have some in-person services. So people would need to book via the office at Highcross on 66798.
01276
01276 66798 if you want to book to come to the service. Otherwise they're online, and it should be quite good. If we're in tier 3, even though the government says we're allowed to continue in-person services, we won't be, because the risk is just too high in my mind at that. So if we're in tier 3, it'll just be online, but tiers 1 and 2 will do in person.
But let's talk about Christmas. Let's talk about what on Christmas Day, Mike. What is the I know you're quite do you do a service on Christmas Day?
Of course I do. Yeah, 10:30 Christmas Day at Highcross. There's normally loads of people bringing presents, seeing what they do, lots of hugs, lots of happiness, lots of big smiles. This year it'll be a rather than a smile.
Okay, so
you've got a mask on.
You got a mask. I wonder what you're doing there.
Yeah, it's mask.
So you've got Christmas Day then. So you do your service. Do you do like presents before the service, or do you just focus on the service and then click into being a dad? and a family.
Well, we're slightly weird because we lived in Germany for so long. We open presents on Christmas Eve because that's what they do in Germany, so that you can open the presents and share the presents with the Christ child. And then Christmas Day's focus is purely on faith. It's on spending that time at church and then together as a family rather than the chaos of opening presents, which is really nice. And we also do St. Nicholas's Day, which I'll probably be corrected, which is the start of December. And St. Nicholas would come round and you'd put a shoe out and you'd either get coal in it or sweets. Coal, of course, if you'd been naughty, and sweets if you'd been good. And that's quite a nice tradition.
So all those people who put their boots out by the back door because they're dirty, they could get coal or sweets in them.
Well, it could be, round here a fox will nick away with them, but yeah. So that's the Christmas tradition. So Christmas Day for us is just chilled out, and we'll speak to family. We don't tend to do Christmas with my parents or my in-laws because we're that used to living away, but we'll speak to them. And we might have some friends round for dinner. So last year we had a wonderful couple from church, actually, who'd just moved to the UK from Jamaica, and it was their first British Christmas. They weren't quite sure what to make of it, to be honest, but we had a great day.
Do you? I mean, we're quite traditional in our family, so we have turkey, we have beef, we have ham, anything else we can get into the oven to cook.
It's a big
and
oven.
Obviously we have like loads and loads of. In fact, it got so bad we've actually started a Christmas buffet now. So we put all the stuff out and people have to go up and get it and then go to the table. There's not enough room on the table anymore.
Is that why you had to buy that new extendable table for the Christmas buffet?
Right, yes. Yeah. But we have a Costco table that we use. We put all the food on and everything as well. So do you do traditional, or do you go for like curry, turkey curry or something like that?
I was just thinking with the Costco table though, do people have to have VAT to it as they take the food away?
Oh.
So we're traditional, but a big turkey is just too much in a lot of ways. So I tend to buy a stuffed turkey crown or something. I've got a 3-bird roast this year from Lidl as well, which I quite like. But I also will do a baked ham in the slow cooker. So it'll keep us going. But I was really chuffed.
Is that after Christmas? That's in the evening.
No, I'll do that on Christmas Day as well, and do that between Christmas Day and so you've not got to cook on Boxing Day, because Boxing Day is about leftovers, isn't it?
It is, and
that's where the turkey curry then comes in.
No, we normally go for that. We normally have turkey sandwiches, obviously in the evening on Christmas Day, about 4 o'clock. Someone says, "Oh, who's hungry?" So we normally have.
What time do you have your Christmas dinner if you're hungry? About 4.
2 o'clock. So, but you always have. Someone always says, "I want a little bit peckish." So we have turkey sandwiches and that and stuffing. And
that's not a little bit peckish. That's another meal. And then a little bit peckish is it's time for the Christmas twiglets or something.
Well, that's why I'm on the fruit juice at the moment. I'm dieting now. This is so I can spend like 3 days over Christmas.
Gorging yourself.
Gorging myself, yeah. No, because we do bubble and squeak as well. We do Boxing Day. We do bubble and squeak. So it's that turkey which we have. We have 3 or 4 different meats, and
that's one of the pleasures of Christmas, though, isn't it? Is the leftovers. And I got a curry. So we we get curry powders by post. It was a company we found at one of the craft fairs, and we've been buying the spices from them ever since. They're very good. And one of them is Christmas curry, and you put in it. It says it tastes better with sprouts. So your leftover turkey goes in, a bit of cranberry sauce, a bit of this and that. Really, anything you've got left goes in, and it makes a lovely curry. And their curry's great. I've never been disappointed by one of them yet. So.
Oh wow! So we have on Christmas Day we have Christmas dinner. Then we have bubble and squeak on the Boxing Day, and then we have the curry turkey. Then we have the turkey sandwiches. There, and then it started to go downhill a bit. So we adopt my nan's point of view. We go for the soup. We start because
soup
you have
the final bit. Yeah,
that's the final bit. So that normally, but not the way she used to make it, with putting it in a muslin cloth and other things, sticking it on the doorstep outside. We'll do it properly. So
So why did you used to put it in a muslin cloth and put it out? What's that about?
You would put it. I think you put it in juices or whatever, and then you put the carcass inside it, and then put the muslin cloth over the top of the pot, and then take that round, and then it would all soak and then you drain it all off and make it into some sort of turkey broth.
Wow.
Yeah,
I guess it would go out on the doorstep with a muslin cloth, because that's to prevent the stuff going in it. But it'd be that cold outside, it would probably be better than being inside, wouldn't it?
Apparently so. And obviously there are people on here who are listening and go, oh yes, we still do that now. It's so, but yeah, that's one of the things that they used to do. Because nothing used to go to waste. Nothing whatsoever would go to waste.
Absolutely. I do wonder though, having been in the supermarkets, how do some of these turkeys fit in people's ovens? And the turkey might fit in, but how do you then fit everything else in? Because they're so blooming big, some of these turkeys.
Well, this is the I mean, and also they're so expensive as well. Turkeys. We buy frozen turkey. We're proud. We're not. We don't care. It's a frozen turkey. It lasts about an hour on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
But you do get people who spend like 70, 80 pounds on a turkey because it's free range. It's watch TV. It goes to bed at night. It's
it's one of those things, isn't it? It's like food. You can spend as little or as much as you want. And I was reading something the other day about a comparison between supermarkets and the difference between someone like Aldi and Lidl for the same shop, and the top end Waitrose Ocado can be as much as £100. And it's quite interesting that essentially it's the same product. I bought I've got in the kitchen a load of mince pies, and I love Lidl's 12 mince pies, box 12 mince pies, because they're just so simple. They're great. It's just unadulterated, sweet, gooey goodness. So
I think as well, to be honest, they do the good housekeeping competition, don't they, every year, where they have like a list of the best. And I think Aldi and Lidl are actually there. Yeah. With like mince pies and Christmas. The Christmas puddings as well are very important.
So that's the next bit. What do you have for your pudding on Christmas Day? What's
Christmas
dessert?
Pudding?
It's got to be Christmas pudding, has it?
Christmas pudding. Yeah. It can't be anything else. Someone pulls out a trifle. You're like, what's that? So we'll normally end up with a variety of things. So you have Christmas pudding. You'd have ice cream. There's obviously not a lot of people like Christmas pudding anymore. So there's ice cream, perhaps a trifle, but the trifles tend to go for tea time. But then you have a Christmas cake as well, but again that's more tea time. But
have you made Christmas cake yet?
When you say made, describe made.
I'm guessing made in the Braybrook tidy houses, lifted off the shelf in whatever supermarket and brought home and then taken out the wrapper.
I think Costco made a delivery the other day. So I think that's got something to do with it. So, but the thing is though, with all this food and everything, we only do it once a year. It's all this money gets spent on one day, which is a very, very important day. I think some people lose, especially parents, they can lose the meaning of what is it.
And I think that's the point, isn't it? Because certainly, as church, we. One of the things I kept hearing on the news this week is Christmas is cancelled. And the reality is Christmas ain't cancelled. Just what you do at Christmas might have to change a little. And it's Christmas doesn't get cancelled that easy, because we so often forget that Christ is the centre of Christmas, and, Christ's Mass. It's Christ's birthday. Sorry?
It is. It's actually the beginning of Christmas.
It is,
yeah.
And it you trained. Oh, that's good. But it is just so important, and we lose, because of all the tinsel and trimmings, we lose track of the simplicity of a refugee child, a refugee baby born homeless into poverty, and all the we miss all the trappings that come with that. They were in a dirty, smelly stable without a roof over their head, and it was just a really difficult time. And then the weird things happened, like shepherds came and kings, because it was Jesus, the Christ child, Jesus, the King of the world, the Savior. But it was a really strange occasion for Joseph and Mary, and we lose track of that, don't we, if we focus totally on the turkey and the trimmings.
We do, and I think sometimes, when I was a kid growing up, Mum used to have carols on. She used to have like songs of praise in the morning on the telly. The one with the subtitles, so you can sing along to the words if you really want to. But that used to be blaring away in the lounge.
Absolutely.
And it was just part of it all. It was such a nice feeling, and I think that we need to go back a bit. And I think the one thing that lockdown has taught us is that basically we learn to appreciate each other a lot more, and
what we've got.
Yeah.
And I think this has been the great thing is, lockdown's given us lots of things to think about. How much we used to spend on things, and certainly I know we've all bolstered the coffers of Mr. Amazon, but it's also given us things to think about, what's important, what we value, what the future looks like. It's been a bit of a reset for the world, hasn't it?
It has, and sometimes I'm sort of lost for words, which is really unusual for me. But I just feel that sometimes we do need to just take a stock of what's happening around us, in Camberley, not just the world, but in Camberley. And so, if you're going to go out and buy a present, then just buy something for something else and put it in. I mean, we're collecting for the Frimley Trust.
Basically. Yeah, the Frimley Health Charity.
Frimley Health Charity Trust. Basically, we're collecting presents because there are kids not just kids, but there are people in hospital who won't get anything on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
And that's in Camberley. That is in Camberley. I mean, that is just diabolical, really. When you think here we are in nearly 2021, and people are still going without receiving a gift.
And I think that's what's wonderful is that the government did the U-turn on the free school meals, didn't they? So there's those that would have gone hungry are there. But if you're struggling to put food on the table this Christmas, please get in touch with me at Highcross and we'll see what we can do to help you. Because certainly this Christmas, nobody should go hungry. But you had a wander around Camberley. What's the town centre looking like now?
Well, the town centre, it's really ironic. No, normally this time of year you can't move. You cannot move around Camberley for Christmas bags, umbrellas, and things like that, because it's coming up for Christmas. But there hasn't been. All the Christmas lights are up. Okay?
Wonderful. But we didn't have. Do you remember the big launch last year with the snow cannons and everything? It was amazing.
Snow cannons and countdowns and.
Yeah. Well done to Jodie and Kyle. Well done. Brilliant.
Yeah, I mean the past has been absolutely phenomenal. This year it's taken its toll. I bumped into Father Christmas wandering around the shops having a look as well. He had making his list.
If you bumped into him, were neither of you social distancing?
Well, when I say bumped into him, it was like, I know you.
What gives it away? The beard or the hat?
It was the glasses, actually.
Not the reindeer parts on the double yellows.
No. That was they were flying high.
Well, it saves a parking ticket in Camberley.
It does. Well, they're quite good at that, aren't they?
Yeah.
So what's so it's just really weird. Christmas is in Camberley, but no one's actually told anyone that Christmas is in Camberley yet until people go in.
I think from next Wednesday, the 3rd, it'll get a bit busier. And I'd say to people, and I think we need to encourage people to shop locally. Do use the shops in Camberley. You've got some great gift shops there. I noticed House of Fraser have got a sale happening. Lots of places have got things happening. So do shop locally, but also realize that these shops have been there throughout and they've had a really tough year. So please try to support them. And what's amazing is the high street is looking spectacular, isn't it?
The high street, they've got all the fencing's come down now, so you can literally see all the way down the high street. They've tried to clear it. I take it they're probably planning on lots of people coming down over Christmas.
And the groovy new streetlights. The groovy new streetlights are really cool as well.
Yeah, I mean, Camberley is starting to look very, very very slick. Yes, slick. And also the little passage between Camberley Theatre and Highcross and Camberley Town is nearly finished. Done.
Yep, that should be opening the next week, hopefully.
That's going to please my parents.
It's going to please me as well, because the walk from Highcross round into town is quite a loop. But I'd say to people, I think the main message to say to people here is the virus is still there. So remember hands, face and space. But also as Christmas comes up, shop local, support your local shops and businesses. You may think that Camberley is not that great and there's other places better, but shop local. Take the opportunity to support these business keepers, shopkeepers that have really struggled this year.
And also
let's keep our shops open.
You will need to remember to be patient as well.
Oh yeah,
obviously
absolutely.
there are shops like Primark and places like that. They are going to have queues. So if you're going to come into Camberley, you will have to queue. If you come to Camberley, and go, I'm not queuing, I'm not queuing, I'm not queuing. You won't be able to get in anywhere.
Just a thought: if you have to queue to go into Primark, does that make it feel posher?
That's I suppose that, or I mean, obviously there are other shops in Camberley. If you don't have to go into Primark.
No, I'm thinking, because I quite like Primark myself.
Well, I know a lot of people, they do get their Christmas clothing from Primark.
Yeah,
because they do a good range of Christmas clothing.
Did they do the Christmas suits and things like that?
Christmas, as you mean, what suits you go out in, or sleep suits?
No, I don't mean a birthday suit, Neil. I mean a suit that you put on with Christmas patterns on. Looks like wrapping paper. I've got one of them.
Have you got one of them? I haven't got one of those. I've got a shirt.
I've got a Christmas shirt as well. So yeah, as the services come towards Christmas, I'll be wearing my Christmas waistcoats and suits at various occasions.
We could do a spot the mic, couldn't we? Spot the mic around town.
The only problem I discovered with the Christmas suit
I've got, where's Mike? Where's Mike? Yeah.
The only issue I discovered with the Christmas suit I've got is the polyester nature of it. It is quite it's a bit like wearing a plastic bag is probably the best thing to describe it as.
Is that one of those shirts you have to Febreze normally after about 20 minutes?
20 minutes, so long. Yeah. But it's all good fun. So I hope everyone's well. Enjoy Christmas. Keep safe. Shop local, and make sure you wash your hands, cover your face, and make space.
Hands, face, space. Okay.
Take care, everyone.
Take care, and we will see you next week. Leading up to Christmas, I think we're going to have to start having some fun things to do. We would normally sort of meet sort of socially distanced face to face, but we actually like doing it like this. We think it's a lot more fun.
It is.
So yeah, so I think we're going to have some fun things to do over the next few weeks as well, Mike.
You just saying that scares me. Just right here in the pit of my stomach.
Remember the Bamboozle challenge, or the Bean Boozled challenge we had?
Bean Boozled. So we might have to do a challenge that you need to go and get something, some tinsel to put in your hair. Go, or something.
Oh, okay. We don't have tinsel in this house anymore.
No, we don't either. It's not environmentally sound. No.
We're going for ribbons.
We'll think about it.
We'll think about it. Yeah.
Okay. See you all next week, everyone.
See you next week. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh, the only downside of this is now I've got to work out how to pause it. We're still here, everyone. And that's it. I found the stop button. Bye.